So manual muscle testing is probably one of the more aggressive things we do, and you can hurt someone if you push too hard or for too long. Tanner, did Catherine hurt you?
No.
She's over here smiling and you're over there sleeping. Okay, so Serratus anterior is a tricky one. Actually, Ryan, let me scoot down here. Sorry, this stays sitting. So what is the primary action of the serratus anterior? So it's going to be protraction. So what I'm going to do is with my left hand, I'm going to be monitoring Ryan's scapula, and I'm going to have you go ahead and make a fist. And what I want you to do is just punch forward without moving your body. So I get real nice protraction. Good. And you can go ahead and relax. Okay? Now, what would gravity eliminated be if he couldn't do that in sitting?
Prone with his arm off the table.
No.
So I would put him in sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Opposite side of the
Yeah,
affected arm.
I would put him sideline and have him punch forward, but I would be supporting the arm. So let's go ahead and show that. Go ahead and go sideline. Let's put this under your head because I'm a slacker and didn't get you a pillow. Okay, now go ahead and punch forward. Do you see how that's gravity is perpendicular to the motion? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and have you sit up. So this is another one that requires you to resist in two different places. So I'm going to be pushing on the lateral border of his scapula, okay? Because I am going to be resisting that protraction. So all of you on that side of the room are not going to be able to see that force. The other place that I'm going to apply force is going to be I'm going to be resisting the shoulder flexion, okay? So I'm going to have you go ahead and get back in that test position. I'm going to have you go ahead and punch forward for me. Now I want you to hold it there. I'm going to be pushing here and pushing down. You don't let me move you, okay, in either place. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. And relax. Oop, there went my elbow. Good job. Okay. So I'm resisting the protraction of his scapula and I'm resisting shoulder flexion. Okay. Now, Coracobrachialis is the next one, right? So what's the primary action of the Coracobrachialis? Shoulder flexion. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and bring your arms straight up. Looks good. Now, what if he couldn't do that? What position am I going to put him in? Sideline. Good. Great, you guys. That's good. So he could do that. So now I'm going to have you get in the test position. Now, what is another shoulder flexor that's a two-joint muscle? Biceps. I want to get rid of biceps and try to test only coracobrachialis. What is the principle that I can apply that will cause biceps to not be able to contract very well? If it's a two-joint muscle, I'm going to shorten it by flexing the elbow, and I'm creating active insufficiency. Okay? So I'm using active insufficiency of the biceps to try to get it out of this one. So remember, one of the questions you're going to be asked is how are we isolating that muscle? Here we are isolating coracobrachialis from biceps by creating active insufficiency of the biceps. For a two-joint muscle, it's going to create the maximum force at mid-range. So our two strategies are to either maximally lengthen a muscle or maximally shorten it to get it to not contribute as much. Okay? In this case, maximal lengthening is not active insufficiency, only maximally shortening. Okay? So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you bring it in and then tuck your elbow in a little bit. There you go. He has no problem with that, so what grade does he get? 3 plus. Okay, because he can hold the test position. Now I'm going to stabilize here, and you hold it there and don't let me pull you down, okay? And relax. So what I'm doing is pulling him out of flexion and adduction. I'm pulling him into extension and abduction. Okay? Now I'm also, notice that I'm not grabbing him across his elbow and compressing his elbow. I'm coming in here to do that pressure. I'm also not applying that pressure across his elbow. I'm doing it all up here, so I'm not creating any torque across his elbow. Okay? Are the pecs the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Pecs are easy, so I would like to show you those, and then we'll go with those 5. So I'm going to have you lie down on your back for me, please. Okay, so we're going to have, I think it'll be easier for everyone to see if I test this side. So we're going to break the pec major into its 2 component parts again. So the sternal and the clavicular, excuse me. So for the clavicular portion, what I'm going to have you do is start in that position, and all I want you to do is bring your arm across your body. Go ahead. Great, and come on back. Now, if he couldn't do that, what would be the gravity eliminated position? This one's a little trickier. Sitting, great. So it's going to be in this position because now gravity is operating this way. Now, if he was in that position, I would be supporting his arm. He doesn't have to hold his arm up. He just needs to move in that direction. Okay? So now for the test, I'm going to put him here. I'm going to stabilize the other shoulder. I'm going to have you hold it there. Don't let me move you. I'm going to try to pull you out. Okay? Ready? Here we go. And relax. Now if he let go, I'd go flying. So I'm really using, I have a staggered stance, and I'm using my body weight to help me pull back so that it's not all my arm that's doing the pulling back. Okay? Now for the sternal portion, we're back at that 135 position. So what I want you to do is pretend that you have a sword on your side, and you're going to pull it up and go, aha! Okay? Sound effect and all.
Where's the
Good
sound?
job. Okay? So now what we're going to do is he's going to hold his arm in that position, but I'm going to resist against that oblique angle. Okay? Now, you can do it one of 2 ways. You want to stabilize that opposite hip from coming up. So hold it there. Don't let me push it down. So you can do it this way. And relax. Or you can be here. Okay, now I'm going to push you up. Don't let me push you up, okay? And relax, okay? The first way is better for me because of my elbow, but the second way may be better for some of you. All right? Now, the sternal portion, that's a weird angle. That's not a cardinal plane motion, okay? So for that one, there wouldn't be a gravity eliminated position. You would only do clavicular. Is everyone with me? Okay, I know I'm racing through these. The last one that we're going to do today is pec minor. Yeah. So that's going to be the exact same position that we did for the muscle length testing. Again, I'll go on the other side so you can see. So the patient's just going to have his arm resting on the table. What's the primary action for pec? Minor? Sorry. Protraction. So what I'd like you to do is just lift your shoulder up like this. There you go. And go ahead and relax. Now I'm going to have you come up again, and now I'm going to press. Okay? Go ahead. And relax. Now what some people will do if they have weak pecs is they will push in with their elbow and push down in the table and using leverage to be able to pull their shoulder up. So what I will do is put my other hand either under their hand or directly under their elbow so that I know that they're not. Okay? So go ahead and pull up again. Hold it there. Don't let me push it down. And now I can tell that the rest of his arm is not adding to that. Okay? What would be gravity eliminated for pec minor? Sitting. Right? So I know I just went through fast. Remember, serratus anterior is this one. Coracobrachialis, this one. And then the pecs. So you're going to be here, pushing across, doing the sword, and then doing pec minor. Okay? So we have 5 more minutes.